Once upon a time, in a valley where the forest spoke in sleep and leaves whispered fairy tales to one another at night, there lived Little Red Riding Hood. The red cloak on her head carried the warmth of her mother's careful knitting. It protected her not only from the cold, but also from the sharpness of the world. When the edges of her cloak fluttered gently in the wind, it felt as though a lullaby began, and the forest adjusted itself to the rhythm of her steps. In this valley, mornings were milky with mist. The fog settled softly upon the grass, wrapping the songs of birds in cotton. When Little Red Riding Hood woke that morning, the bellflowers by her window swayed lightly, glowing in a color somewhere between blue and purple. In the kitchen, her mother mixed the scent of fresh bread with cinnamon and prepared a small basket. "Take these to your grandmother," her mother said, her voice calm like a quiet lake. "But do not stray from your path. The forest is beautiful, yet every beauty asks for care." Little Red Riding Hood nodded. She took the basket, adjusted her cloak, and stepped outside. With every step her shoes took on the soil, the earth seemed to sigh gently in return. As she moved deeper into the forest, the light split into 1,000 shades of green. Sunbeams filtered through the branches, leaving golden patches on the ground. Along the path, there were melodies. A stream struck the stones and carried a steady tune. Leaves rustled with the wind, setting a soft tempo for her walk. Little Red Riding Hood hummed a lullaby to herself. Her voice blended with the flutter of birds' wings. Just then, a wolf emerged from between the shadows. But this was not the sharp-toothed, harsh-eyed wolf of old tales. His eyes were deep as the night, and his voice was soft, like a moss-covered stone. "Good morning," said the wolf. "Where are you headed, little traveler?" Little Red Riding Hood did not feel afraid. The forest revealed fear immediately by its scent, and there was none upon this wolf. "I'm going to my grandmother's house," she said. "She is a little lonely." The wolf nodded. "Loneliness," he said, "is sometimes a quiet song. It is beautiful for those who know how to listen." He glanced at the path where it split in two. "This road is shorter," he added, "but the other is filled with flowers. Whichever you choose, listen to the rhythm of your heart." Little Red Riding Hood thanked him and chose the flowered path. A calm, sleep-like gentleness had settled over her. She did not wish to hurry. As she walked among daisies and poppies, it seemed as though the flowers bowed to greet her. Time slowed. The jars in her basket touched one another softly, producing a delicate chime of glass. Meanwhile, the wolf quietly took the shorter path. But his intentions were not unkind. He knew the grandmother's house well, a small cottage at the edge of the forest, covered in ivy. He knocked on the door. From inside came the grandmother's gentle voice. "Who is there?" "A guest of the forest," said the wolf. "I bring you a greeting." The grandmother smiled, for she too understood the language of the forest. She opened the door, and the wolf stepped inside, curling up near the stove. The flames danced softly, filling the room with a honey-colored light. They sat without speaking, for sometimes the best conversation is silence. After a while, there was another knock at the door. Little Red Riding Hood had arrived. When she entered, the crackle of the stove, the wolf's deep breathing, and her grandmother's heartbeat found the same rhythm. The girl paused for a moment. This moment was the heart of the fairy tale. The grandmother spoke with a warm laugh. "Look," she said, "the forest has brought us a guest, one who listens to loneliness." The wolf lowered his head. "I am a guardian," he said. a guardian of sleep, of paths, and of wandering thoughts. Little Red Riding Hood felt at ease. She opened her basket and placed the bread and honey upon the table. The three of them shared the food. Sharing is the oldest magic that softens every story. As night fell, the moon appeared through the window. Moonlight poured into the cottage like milk-white silk. The grandmother's voice turned into a lullaby. The wolf took his place by the door. Outside, his gentle howl rose with the wind, like a call to sleep. Little Red Riding Hood lay down in bed. She placed her cloak beside her pillow. When she closed her eyes, the sounds of the day drifted away one by one. The stream grew quiet, the leaves stilled, and the forest took a deep breath. And in that moment, the fairy tale itself fell asleep. Now you too may leave the rhythm of this story with your heart. Let your breath slow. The forest is silent. The moon keeps watch. Everything is as it should be. Sleep well.